And you know, I don't know how I knew, but I was, you know, because we have a lot of Facebook friends, right? And I was on there and just started, I don't even know how we connected. I don't know what the link was. All I know is that I found a kindred spirit. And from the moment I read his first post, I was like, oh my God, this is me if I was a boy, and I was gay, and I was successful.
What ifs there?
But a few ifs, just a few. But other than that, we are identical twins. But I love him, and oh, I should tell you his name. His name is Gregory Cope White.
Yeah.
Gregory has become he's my beard, which means that I take him places and I pretend he's my boyfriend. He's such a fine-looking man that, you know, I like, you know, I'm like walking in, hey. Yeah, I didn't fool anybody. Henry said in a room full of hundreds of people, so did you see any cute boys? Henry's trying to match me. It's really sad. But anyway, so Gregory and I have been running around town together and just having the best time. If you are not friends with him on Facebook, if you are not reading Go Greg Go, Greg Eat Greg. Yeah, Eat Greg. His blogs are fantastic. He writes restaurant reviews. He's amazing. But we'll get to all of that. Let me see what I'm supposed to tell you. Okay. He's a former sergeant in the US Marine Corp. I'm sorry, but that is too weird for words. I know you. Okay. Greg is now battling it out on the blogosphere for Eat Greg Eat and the Huffington Post and the Good Men Project. A proud 6th-generation Texan. Okay, this is another total disconnect. Total disconnect. And polo-playing enthusiast. All right, this is like ridiculous already. Polo-playing Texan with the Marine Corps. I've hung with him. He is none of those things. He is all of those things. I don't know. Okay. Anyway. He now lives on both coasts and finds life lessons and great wisdom in the food he eats. He likes to cook as much as he likes to eat out and write restaurant reviews for his Go Greg Go site. Eating with Greg is transformative. He took me to this restaurateur in Roses in Santa Monica. If you haven't been, you must go. But we had like 9 courses. Yeah, I gained 6 pounds after. Eating with Greg is make him take you out. You have to take us all. We have to all go. And Greg will tell us what to eat. He's a recovering television writer. Credits include Dream On, The Powers That Be with Holland Taylor, and Greg's going to help us juice Holland by tweeting with her. Okay, 704 Hauser Street, the Archie Bunker continuation, Social Studies, and Life with Louie. We'll talk about that later. But he found the truth funnier than fiction. He's currently writing a book about his Marine Corps boot camp experience. They must have just loved you. Did you play macho? You'll tell us. He's yet to heal from the trauma of having to wear green on a daily basis. He's currently writing a screenplay, a non-sexual love story between 2 men. How boring. I have no idea what he's brought to read to us, but I know he's going to delight and entertain. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my favorite date ever, Gregory Cope.
Are there any transvestites here? I'm just a typical guy. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm going to get lucky later. Anyway, oh yeah, go. Have you eaten with Vicki? She is so passionate. I make sure she keeps both hands on the table. I don't know what she's doing. I brought 2 stories to read to you guys today. One is self-explanatory. So you want to be a princess. On paper, being a princess looks appealing, almost fairy tale-ish. But turn the page, lift the crown, look closer, and you might stay in school. First, you get one dress. One fucking yellow dress with a sash. And you have to wear that one dress in every scene until the very end when you get married. You know, you imagine princesses with one of those closets like a dry cleaner, where millions of different outfits go flying by like the sushi conveyor belt at Harvey Nichols in London. Nope, one dress. And it's tattered because it's made by birds. Birds are shit seamstresses. You know you're motherless, right? Your mother died, most likely giving birth to you. And she was lovely. So lovely that your kindly father never remarries, he drinks too much and whittles. ABC should launch CSI Disney and get to the bottom of all this queen's dying bullshit. Of course, this means that one day, princess, you too will be queen and therefore die. So don't get pregnant, you'll never make it out alive. But not to worry, your prince is gay. Gay, gay, gay. Look at him, riding in on his prancing horse, fresh from a spray tan, a teeth whitening, and probable barn romp involving other princes. When boys are that pretty, they like other boys who look just like them. It's tragic that men's canoodling can't produce kids. A gay couple would have the most beautiful babies. You know everybody hates you. Go ahead, dance at the ball, twirl around all night. But know that everyone watching you wants you dead. They don't want to be you, they just want you dead. Dukes and duchesses and court folk are really just mean. Don't drink the punch, don't eat cake, don't touch anything pointy, and never ever repeat one word 3 times. You're constantly a wand wave away from poof. You like your castle? Good, because that's the only place you get to go. There is no other world for you. You think you're going online to book a getaway in Prague? Huh, like you're getting on a public plane. You'll crash through a glass wall, burst in your bubble forever. The world outside is not pretty. It's not sunshiny or sparkly, and some old troll drove out all the unicorns eons ago. Why am I so pissed? Because I felt for the myth too, and my midget posse left me for movie work. Now I'm single, childless, and live in a cave hiding out from some witch. Forever. I do write a lot about food. I'm also, in my book, I really was Marine. You can't make that up. Once upon a time, I had no worries because Lorenzo was in my life. Lorenzo cut hair like a wizard, and he looked exactly like his name sounds. Long, flowing mane of dark hair, with cheekbones as high and taut as his perfect butt. He could have jumped off the cover of a romance novel, 50 Shades of Grey No More. He'd take me by the hand and help me personally fulfill my hair fantasies. He wore black leather pants so tight they looked like his legs, and he kept his silk shirts open to the navel. I had a compulsion to slip my tip in his waistband along with my number. But he had my number. I could feel him walk up behind me as I sat in a chair. I gasped a bit as he gently but firmly touched the back of my head. He took his time running his fingers through my hair as if he were reading my love letter to him, written on my scalp in Braille. He could do anything he wanted. I felt safe in his hands. His confidence was contagious. He made everyone look and feel good. I'd see him socially and would melt a bit when at a party without a word. He reached up in casual conversation and gently brushed my hair off my forehead with his trained hand. His own long black hair was a marvel. People did anything to touch it, usually under the guise of asking conditioning tips. It was like boobies in a strip club. You just want to touch them, even though you might not understand why, and it's not at all cool with the owner. Lorenzo grabbed my head, guiding it closer to his chest. He cut slowly at first, and then his clipping built with rhythmic passion. Hot music pounded in the salon, and I swear he timed my cut to end as the song reached its crescendo. When he finished, his hands flew up. He was spent. I was breathless, and it took a moment for my eyes to gain back focus. An assistant swooped in from nowhere and mopped his brow. I hated that the haircut ended. When I left the salon, I always had to pause and reach in my pants to dress right from left so I could comfortably walk to my car. Ordinary stars rise in the Los Angeles sky every night, but a fiery meteor like Lorenzo gets noticed. He met Elton John at a party. Elton made a smart move and left LA to stay sober. He learned to come back to Hollywood to stuff his pockets with cash for his amazing AIDS foundation. He planted his seeds of philanthropy at the same time he implanted his famous hair plugs, and Sir Elton didn't want to personally tend his new garden. I imagine Lorenzo walking into the party, his hair blowing in the breeze, a little fluff of sex falling off his shoulders, leaving a happy trail that Elton sniffed out and followed. He courted Lorenzo. At first, it was so innocent, like when Elton flew into LA and shut down Versace on Rodeo and let Lorenzo point at shirts he wanted. Then as any normal business relationship progresses, soon Lorenzo had meetings with Elton's decorator to outfit an apartment in Atlanta. I wasn't really worried. I saw Lorenzo once a month or so, and his affair with Elton seemed just that. My hair had never looked more taken care of. Lorenzo was flourishing, and I benefited. One day he was snipping away and let it slip that he'd flown over to London to stay with Elton. Up to now, I was happy for me. My hairdresser also did Elton John's hair. When someone complimented mine, I whipped it in their general direction, slung my drink, loudly let him know that it was manhandled by the same hands as the fabled tresses of the legendary pop singer. I was sitting in his chair on one of those days in LA that are so stunningly beautiful I get suspicious and figure something bad has to happen. And I know I really should have just stayed home where it's safe. He finished my cut, and instead of the usual ceremonial whipping off of my cape, he placed his hands on my shoulders and took a deep breath. He spoke slowly. "We need to talk" are the 4 most hated words in any language. You can hear that clipped by an African tribe and know that heads are landing on sticks. He was moving to London, leaving his salon, his home, his family, and me. I was angry with him for falling for the glitz, begging to know why I wasn't enough. I screamed and cried, pulling on my hair hard to show him what the real thing was, to tell him how foolish he was for leaving the stability of a solid hair of hair for temporary plugs. Elton had pulled the ultimate trump card and introduced Lorenzo to Princess Diana. My world was crumbling, but I wished him well. I used my fake smile, the one ironically honed as a reaction to sad news in this town. Rejection is a total erection killer. I walked out of the salon in the same state I was when I left the dentist, limp, confused, shaken. My presumptive belief that my hair would always be perfect lulled me into a false sense of security. I guess karma is a bitch with a British accent and 6 Grammys. I felt abandoned and lost. Life doesn't come with a hair manual, but life grows out. I tried to go back to Sassoon, but it felt weird, like it does when you go visit your elementary school and the desks look tiny. I crashed, along with my own self-worth, and I walked into the hair cuttery. They don't even require an appointment. I had it done by someone wearing a handwritten name tag. She was probably just released from prison. Who gets their hair cut by a she? I once let a guy in Paris cut it just because he was swarthy. I didn't even speak French to him. I no longer deserve open and honest communication about my hair. I just sat there reflecting. I'm better. I've talked about it. I take a few deep breaths and resist the urge to go down the disastrous road of self-cutting. I rarely have it cut. I faced the cold, hard realization that it would probably just fall out anyway. Hair will leave you, just like Lorenzo did.
That good cup of coffee and a little bit of time won't cure. There ain't much that a good cup of coffee and a little bit of time won't cure. Patience and caffeine, oh what a team.